you guys? It's your girl Nurse Cam and I am back. It's been a long time. It's been a little minute, but I'm back. And today's video, it's not in no type of order or structure or anything. This is just me turning on the camera and wanting to share some very, very exciting news. And I feel like it's long overdue. I feel like this video should have been done, but I'm done. I'm like done with school. Can we like clap it up? Like I need confetti, like I need balloons, I need it all. Like I am done. I am done with school. I'm pretty sure there are people who already know this. I've been posted on my Instagram. I've been shared the good news that I'm done. I'm officially a nurse. I can stop saying Nurse Cam and it's like, are you really a nurse? Are you still a student? So excited. I'm so grateful, so thankful. I never thought that this day would come. Like I never thought that eventually I would be done. You know, you always know it's going to happen, but it's like when, you know, and like as you're going along the journey, you're just like, this is so tiring. I'm so ready to be over. Like I'm over it. So to be here and to finally be able to say that I'm a nurse is amazing. So let me just get right into it. I know a lot of programs. I'm not really familiar with a lot of programs, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I know a lot of other schools don't have what you call exit exams. However, my program did. So everything I'm talking, I'm literally kind of speaking from my experience, but my program did have an exit exam. And when I say, you guys, this was probably the most hyped up exam of my life. Like everybody talks about Nclex, and you know that eventually Nclex is that test that determines whether you are a nurse or not. But for me, Nclex wasn't as hyped up as my exit exam was. When I say that all throughout school, it was like progression, and that's the name of it, is progression, progression, progression. Like this exit exam is tough, you know, it makes or breaks you. And just a little insight, you can either get two versions of it, of the exit exam, one being the ATI and one being the HESI. So yeah, it was like you don't know, and another thing, you don't know which one you're gonna get, so you can't really study for either one, which I know is kind of like a big conspiracy type thing, like, oh, you know, HESI is harder than ATI or ATI is easier than HESI. You don't know which one you're gonna get, so that makes it even more like frustrating and like, oh. It was hyped up all throughout school for me. I knew that once I got there, it wasn't gonna be easy. So what I did was I took a 30-day social media break, 30 days. And I've done it before, but this time I really took this break. And the reason why I say that, not to like, you know, make it sound like anything else, but I took a 30-day social media break because I didn't want to leave any room to say what if. You know, like if there was a chance that I wasn't gonna pass, I didn't want to leave any room to say, what if I would have done this? What if I would have just stayed off social media for a week? You know, like I didn't want to leave any rooms for what ifs, just in case things didn't happen, you know, the way I thought they would. I had a HESI makeshift or a HESI type exit exam, and it was hard. It was very hard, but I'm a woman of faith, so I knew I was gonna pass. The first time around, I had already, you know, been declaring and been saying it, I'm gonna pass. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I already know I'm gonna pass first time around. You only get 4 times to pass, and so if that's not enough pressure, the exam itself puts pressure on you as well. It was 150. It was 150 questions. I took a break at 75 questions. I went in the bathroom, I prayed, and I was like, God, get me through it. So, and then I got my results and I was happy, and it was like, you know, I was so happy. And then from there, I took Nclex, and as you guys know, COVID standards have changed for Nclex, which I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Nclex has gone back to what it was before COVID. So before COVID, I think the max number of questions you would have gotten on the Nclex was 275. I'm not sure. I'm sorry guys, I'm so bad with this stuff, but I'm not sure. I think it's like 275 questions is the most. and 75 being the least. With COVID, Nclex changed its standards, and the least amount of questions you would have gotten would have been 60, the most being 130. And you know, this whole like myth is that if you get all questions, you know, because it's a computer-based test, so based on how you're answering the questions is how many questions you get, you know, how many you're getting right, you know, things like that. I was really nervous because I had heard that, you know, like if you get all questions, you have failed. And let me just say, I listened to a guy named Nclex. If you guys know anything about Mark, I was someone that I knew referred him to me, and he is awesome. His lectures are amazing. Oh my God, he's amazing. If you have the chance, look him up. And he basically got me through this. That's what I was saying. He basically blew that whole conspiracy up for me, and there is no such thing as that. Because your girl got all 130 questions. I got the max number of questions and I passed, you know. And yes, it's still computer based, it's still based on how you're answering, but there is still a chance that you can get all 130 questions and still pass, or if they have changed and went back, you can get all 200 and something questions and you can still pass. And I just want to say this, don't go into Nclex thinking or worrying about the number of questions that you're going to get. Be prepared, and I learned this from Mark, be prepared for the max number of questions, and so that way you build your stamina up for questions. If you're expecting 200 and something questions, you're going to go in there answering, you know what I'm saying, with confidence, and you're expecting the max. So you know what I'm saying, no matter if you are answering well and you get only 75 questions or 60, or you get all 200, you're ready, you know. So just be prepared for the max number of questions. I'm so glad that I was, because it can be terrifying, you know. After I passed 60, I'm like, and I got to 61, I was like, they're gonna give me the max. I'm getting the max number of questions. I was practicing 200 questions a day, 200 questions a day, and it's tiring. And trust me, I went through all the motions of like, when is this gonna be over? This is draining. Mentally, it was very exhausting, but I did 200 something questions a day, give or take 250, 200, depending on the material, depending on the topic, the subject. But I did that, and not only did it prepare me for my progression exam, it did prepare me for Nclex, because Nclex, to me, was way easier than my progression exam. I felt way more prepared for Nclex than I did for my progression exam, and it was, I don't want to say a breeze, but it was an easier test for me. And trust me, this is just my personal experience. I know there are horror stories that people have about Nclex, so this is just my personal experience. It was way more relaxing, you know, going into it. And yes, so I'm a nurse. I say all that to say that I'm a nurse. I can officially write my name with 2 letters behind them, so it's lit. I'm so happy. And now, you know, after I took Nclex, it's like, where am I gonna work at? What am I gonna do? You know, unfortunately, I wasn't those people, which surprises me because I'm such a planner, but sometimes God has other plans, and I'm such a planner that I feel like sometimes my plans get shattered and it's like a test for me. So like, how are you gonna handle this? Because you don't have any control. So I wasn't one of those people that had a job lined up, and especially with COVID happening, I feel like the hiring process, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but it was a little bit difficult for me. But I did get a job, and I'm going to be working on the med-surg neuro floor, and this is so amazing and scary at the same time, because during school, neuro was particularly challenging for me. It was one of those sections when I was in med-surg 1 and med-surg 2 that I was just like, what? I don't even want to go there. Like, I don't even want to, like, it's just, it was difficult for me because it required a lot of reading. It required a lot more discipline. You know, it didn't come as naturally to me as other things did. Like OB, I loved OB. I didn't want to be an OB nurse, but during school, OB was one of those subjects that just, it came to me. It stuck better than neuro did. Neuro was like, I had to put in time, I had to put in effort if I really wanted to grasp this material. So the fact that I accepted a job on a med-surg neuro floor is interesting, but I'm ready for the challenge. My last term of nursing school is when I would say that even though neuro was challenging for me, I began to love it. And I say that because I had an awesome instructor. She was amazing. She broke it down so well, especially with, you know, not being able to be in a classroom setting. I feel like that speaks wonders on her teaching ability, that I still loved it and I wasn't even in class with her. You know, and maybe that just shows my discipline as well, but I loved it because it was so interesting. So I accepted a job on the med-surg neuro floor, and you guys, I'm so excited. I start later this month, and of course I'm gonna be posting, I'm gonna be updating you guys on how it's like. I'm so excited to just get out there. Once you become a nurse, you're just eager to start and just become, you know, an amazing nurse and start helping people and just start working. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're in school for all this time and you have these mock clinicals, you're going to clinical sites, you're shadowing other nurses, but it's nothing like being a nurse and going to work, you know, and clocking in and knowing that you have patients that are depending on you that day. And I can only imagine that feeling, and I'm so ready for it. It is a nurse residency program, and I'm thanking God that I got a residency program, especially with COVID happening, because I have not been in clinicals in about 8.5 months now. It might be more, it might be less, but I'm saying 8.5 months because COVID happened in the middle of March, and I hadn't gotten a chance to do any of my clinicals for OB and Peds, which I'm still very salty about. I didn't get to do any of my clinicals, and also when I was in med-surg too, ideally I would have been in clinicals every Wednesday and Thursday for 8 weeks, and because of COVID I could not. So if you like calculate, you know, that's a lot of clinical time that I missed out on. So I'm desperate to get my hands dirty and to just be a nurse, you know, and start doing things. And here shortly I'm gonna like get back into my book, because I know as a neuro nurse I need to sharpen up a few little things that I need to remember, you know. So that's what I plan on doing within like the next week or so before I start. I plan on probably doing some type of refresher course, and just like refresh my mind, refresh my brain, because I want to be ready, you know. I want to be prepared, and I'm excited. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you for all the support. I know I've been gone from YouTube for a minute, but I've just been, I said like the next time that I turn on the camera and the next time I do a YouTube video, I want to be a nurse. I'm tired of talking about it, you know, like, and I know there's so many other videos I could have done as a student, but I just got to a point where I was like, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready to share what it is to be a nurse. And I feel like now, especially with a pandemic going on, I'm ready to provide more material, nurse related material, and just share with you guys how it is being a nurse. And I'm excited. And so there's gonna be a lot more videos coming your way, I promise. Like it, comment, and subscribe, please. We're a family. The only way to go is up. Thank you guys. I love you guys.